How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to do a different video. Usually I do videos on just fishing gear, but today I'm going to do something a little bit different. But it's going to have a connection to a lot of my fishing gear. Now you may already be able to tell based off from the image you see behind me, it has to do with Ozark Trail. So if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you have noticed that I am quite a big fan of the brand Ozark Trail. As you can see behind me, I got two fishing rods from Ozark Trail that I absolutely love. I have full reviews and shorts on this rod and reel combo. I also have this specific reel that I have done numerous videos on too. This is the Ozark Trail OTX 3000 size. An amazing reel for the money. An amazing reel. Then I have more Ozark Trail. Look at this. This is the Ozark Trail tackle bag. Only $15. It might have gone up since inflation's been a thing, but when I bought this 3 years ago, it was only 15 bucks. As good as anything that's like $50, $60. Amazing value for the money. And the same exact thing applies to this new Ozark Trail G.1 Explorer. Now, I just give you a little bit of background in with my relationship when it comes to biking. Now, when I was a kid, I was really into biking all the way up until my early 20s. I bought a road bike or a cyclist bike, and I rode it to work every single day for years. Then I joined the Air Force, and after that, I just never really lived in an area where it made sense to ride bikes. It was usually too dangerous. But we just PCS'd, and we live on base now. Never lived on base before, but now we live on base, and I'm only 2 miles from where I work. So it's a great opportunity to go out and get a bike and start trying to get back into a little bit better shape, get more active, because I'm getting old. I'm 36, so I turn 36 tomorrow. And I'm not as in good shape as I used to be. So this is a great way, getting a bicycle and commuting to work on your bike is a great way to be active and try to get back in a little bit better shape. So I've been doing a lot of research, as I do with anything that I get into. I'm not just going to go out there and just buy the first random thing that I see. So I was going online, doing research, watching a bunch of YouTube videos, and I originally bought one bike, and I ended up returning it. For this bike, by the way. And that was the Hyper Urban 700C. And now that bike is a good bike for $200, and I got it on sale for $100, I think it was $100. It was on clearance for $100. And I absolutely loved it. It's a good bike. If you want to go out and buy that bike for even at $228, which is its MSRP, you're not going to get ripped off. That's a pretty good price for that bike. If you can get it for cheaper, that's even better, right? But after I was riding it for a little bit, I did like it. It was fine, and I just happened to be in a Walmart one day, had no intentions on returning that Hyper Urban until I saw this bike. This Ozark Trail G1 Explorer. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. Based off from the reviews that I had seen on other gravel bikes, as soon as I saw this bike, I knew it was this bike had features that were on much more expensive bikes. And this bike is only $248. I couldn't believe it. So as soon as I pulled it out, I started looking at it. And we'll go over the specs here as I'm talking about what I saw. So as soon as I saw this bike, I noticed Kenda tires. These are Kenda tires. These tires, for the pair of them, they're like anywhere between $40 to $60 each. For the tires. I mean, or a pair total. That's really good that these tires are on this gravel bike. Then I noticed that it has internal routing. This internal routing for $248, that's amazing. You don't see that. Then I saw that it had a aluminum neck stem with a 4-bolt bar holder, I guess you can call it. I'm sorry, I'm not a bike expert, but I was really into bikes when I was younger, like I said, but definitely out of the game. So don't sit here, or I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a super expert. I just know from more of a hobbyist side of the house. I'm not a mechanic, but based off of the research that I've seen, this bike is punching way above its weight. So It's got really nice aluminum bars. It's got really decent shifting. I'm not going to say that the shifting on this bike, the derailleur, the front derailleur, are high end. No, they are L2 branded shifters, which are Chinese budget line shifters, but they're also punching way above their weight. This is the L2 R2, the L2 R2 shifter, which is really good for the price. And when I saw that branding, I saw that it was a 2x7, which is just right up my alley. That's exactly what I want. A 2x7 gear, or whatever you call it, gear system. Again, I'm no expert, so, but I'm just telling you guys, this bike is really, really good. So it's got that 2x7 gear system. It's got graphite pedals that are actually pretty darn good for what you're paying. Aluminum crankset, 3-piece crankset. It's got, this part is what really interested me, are these rims. These are double wall rims with a mechanical disc brake system in the front and back. And it does have, I don't think it's a cassette, it's a freewheel, but just listen to this freewheel. That's pretty darn good. That sounds really nice. And this bike is 28 pounds. I saw another video on it. The individual said it was 29. I forget the guy's name, but he beat me to the punch on the putting out the first video on this bike. But when I weighed it, it weighed 28 pounds. So it's between 28 and 29 pounds, which I know for a gravel bike is a little bit on the heavier side, but for only $248, this is a relatively light bike for what you're paying for. So I don't want to make this video super long. I just wanted to put out a quick video of this bike and how much I love it. You guys need to go out if you're looking for a bike and buy this bike, because this bike is absolutely amazing. And also too, just to let you guys know, I will be doing more videos on this bike. I'm going to be making it my commuter bike, but there's a lake here on base that is stocked with bass. So I'm going to start customizing this bike a little bit to make it so that I can bring my fishing rods with it. So I don't have to hold my fishing rod as I ride my bike. I'm going to put a rack here, I'm going to get some PVC pipe, and I'm going to make rod holders. And so I'll be doing a video on that, showing you guys what I've done. And maybe once I get a chest mount or a head mount, I'll actually bring you guys along when I go and do some, or when I go finally fish at that lake, so you guys get the full experience. So again, last words. I know this isn't one of my best videos. I wanted to crank this out pretty quickly. Get it, crank? Crank set. But I just wanted to let everyone know that there is a new Ozark Trail brand, or Ozark Trail gravel bike. Their mountain bikes are already amazing for their price. And now they have a gravel bike that is, in my opinion, I think it's better than their mountain bikes. And their mountain bikes are $300 and $400 versus this $248 bike. So that's all I got for you guys today. I will see you next time.